Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to this very extra special announcement stream with me, Mr. Conway, live from here in Prague, Europe. Unfortunately, some of you might have already seen the news, but we have some very, very epic announcements to make today. There is going to be a new class of ships in World of Warships very soon, and to talk about all of this, I have invited a very special guest from St. Petersburg, who is already waiting in the wings. Please say hello and welcome to our dear friend, Mr. Sub Octavian.
Hey guys.
How are you doing, Phil?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. You know, I've been sick lately, St. Petersburg weather and all this kind of stuff, but I couldn't miss today's stream. You know why? I probably going to tell the biggest news since release.
Yes, unfortunately, most of chat knows it already, but chat is still hyped, so they're really excited. So can you tell us a little bit about what we're going to be talking about and what we're going to be seeing?
Well, let me start from a bit afar. When I joined Wargaming around 5 years ago as a community manager, my boss told me one thing. It was literally the first thing I've been told when I started working here. Like, if anybody asks you about submarines, just tell them that there will be never submarines, and that's it. I guess today, is a proof that you should never say never, because we are going to introduce submarines to World of Warships within the Halloween event coming this October. And we are very excited to share some details with you guys today. And we will be even more excited when you will try this yourselves.
Yes, I for one am very excited. I've already had a bit of a sneak peek of the prototype, and actually there has been some live gameplay happening in the office today as part of a press event. So it is actually looking extremely cool and extremely fun and exciting. So I could not be more hyped if I tried. Should we just shut up and show everybody the video for a minute, and then we can come back and have a conversation about it?
Absolutely, guys. Let's see them in action, then we'll talk, and then of course we'll have some Q&A sessions, so stay with us.
Okay, so now guys, as an almost world exclusive, for the first time ever here on this channel, Submarines in World of Warships. Enjoy, and we'll see you in a few minutes. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we had all reason to be hyped and to create a little bit of hype because it looks absolutely amazing. Now, do you wanna talk a bit about the video we've just seen, Phil?
Yeah, sure. We've seen quite early build of our Halloween event. To be honest, it even is before super test, so it's a bit clunky and stuff. But anyways, this is a new operation scheduled for Halloween, and it contains player-controlled submarines, basically. Probably you noticed some mechanics here already. I think we can go through all of them in detail. I'll explain you what happened, and if you have any questions, just ask. We'll gather questions and ask them after this, I guess.
Okay, I'll rerun the video a bit quieter in the background so people have a bit of a frame of reference for what we're talking about.
I'm pretty sure submarines are more interesting than just our faces, you know.
Well, I'm sorry, but we have particularly nice faces, I find. But yes, I agree.
Nothing will compare to submarines, so probably start the video and let's talk. So core experience of this class in this operation. We've been thinking about this for quite long. When I told you that initially we absolutely refused to accept any possibility of submarines happening in the game, that's because we were very occupied, very busy with working on the current classes. We had a long list of things actually to introduce to the game, like clan wars, like new nations and branches and all this stuff. And then when we actually started to think about serious carrier rework, and we also started to think about submarines, inside our studio we created a special strike team which is called New Gameplay, New Classes team. And these guys are from specialists from different departments and teams. They are brought together to introduce new gameplay to the game. So this video you're seeing right now is a result of their prototyping of their work over some pretty decent time. The concept of this class here is basically stealth killer. We want gameplay to be based on three things. I'll tell you about these three things. So first is anticipation, then it's fear, and then it's satisfaction. So anticipation, because in Submarine, as you can see, you're mostly stalking the enemy. You're positioning yourself. Positioning is crucial for submarines because they're fragile and your torpedo armament is mostly fixed. And you're basically spending a lot of time just stalking the enemy and lining up the torpedo salvo. Then there is fear. Fear is both actually for submarine and for submarine's target. Because submarines basically are very weak in terms of protection. The only protection you have is basically stealth. So if you're exposed to the enemy fire, if you allow the enemy to concentrate fire on you, you'll be probably dead pretty soon. On the other hand, your target can be actually attacked from absolutely different directions, and you can, if you're doing it right, you can perform surprise attack, and the enemy won't know that it's coming. So fear is quite strong emotion here in this type of gameplay. And finally, we have satisfaction. Why satisfaction? Because we think that with this kind of gameplay and this prototype, submarines really require a lot of planning, a lot of flawless execution, a lot of mastery skills, and I think you should have a lot of satisfaction from successful torpedo attack. When you plan everything, you see the enemy team, you see your team, you position yourself properly, you shoot your salvo, and boom, like you have a kill or you have severely damaged enemy ship. This is satisfaction from successfully executed attack. So these are three emotions we want to put into this gameplay. Luke, maybe I can tell you more about the mechanics our friends and players seeing on the screen right now. So basically, the most important thing here is new dimension, vertical dimension. As you can see, submarine can be fully immersed, it can be at periscope depth, and it can be submerged. And you basically travel through all this dimension. Of course, each position, each stance, immersed, periscope, and submerged, has different benefits and different drawbacks as well. Right now in this prototype, the speed of submarine is not changing because of the depth, for the sake of simplicity, but other things are changing heavily, like concealment, for example. When you're immersed, basically you have the highest concealment possible. When you're at periscope height, you have very small, but still you have some concealment range. And when you're fully submerged, then basically only X-ray or hydroacoustic search can find you, and you're fully invisible in this stance. Another important thing connected with the stances of submarine is oxygen. If you see some part of this video with combat interface, you may notice oxygen indicator near the crosshair and a timer. So oxygen is spent when submarine is submerged or at periscope height, depth, sorry, and oxygen, like corresponding to real life submarines, is spent on launching torpedoes. Basically, oxygen is a balancing factor. Of course, we know that submarines could have stayed underwater for longer than 20 minutes, but we have quite short battles, like 20 minutes maximum. So oxygen is a balancing factor, which allows us to control how much time submarine can spend invisible. And if the oxygen is depleted, you are forced to immerse. Sorry, still get to take like terminology right. You need to immerse to replenish the oxygen. And then another very important difference is armament. Basically, the only viable armament of a submarine are torpedoes, and we decided to put a little more detail in torpedo armament. Of course, here it's fantasy Halloween event, and still you have two types of torpedoes within one game assigned to different torpedo launchers. Basically, you have in this Halloween mode, we're going to have, I think, 5 different submarines, and they are different in terms of torpedo tubes placement. Mostly, it's fixed to torpedo tubes aft or bow. You have a sector of torpedo launch, and there are two important things about torpedoes here. First is that periscope depth is the optimal depth of attack because like ocean waves, all these things are not affecting submarines too much. So when you're at periscope, you're concealed, you can see the enemy, and your torpedo spread is the best. However, you can still attack while fully immersed, but you'll have a worse torpedo spread. Basically, you'll have torpedo dispersion, and your attack can miss because of that. And then you may notice, if you pay attention to torpedo reload indicators, that torpedo tubes on submarines are serviced independently. You have several torpedo groups. If we take simple submarine, it can be just aft and bow group, right? And each tube is reloaded independently. And of course, you have independent launch. However, again, to correspond with some historical realities, we have one loader assigned to each group. So these torpedo tubes are not loaded at the same time. They're loaded in turn. So you make a salvo, and then one tube of the group is loaded, another one, and so on and so forth. And another group is loaded independently. So we really wanted to pay more attention to torpedo armament here. And of course, the remaining question is how to destroy a submarine. Well, as this is PvE event and only players here can control submarine, basically you can destroy it as regular surface ship. If you catch the submarine, if the enemy catches you fully immersed, they can destroy you as normal surface ship. However, the new mechanics introduced to the game are depth chargers. So in this event, depth chargers can be launched from special catapults, from ground buildings, and from destroyers. Right now, depth chargers just hit the water, they start to submerge, and they detonate on random depth. We're not sure how we proceed with this if we take it further, but for now it creates a kind of vertical gameplay where you have to change your depth to avoid depth charges. And while we still need to work on this, what we want to achieve is, some kind of vertical torpedo beat. As you dodge torpedoes with surface ships, you have horizontal torpedo beat, and here it can be really vertical torpedo beat with new dimension.
You should get a copyright on that.
No, I think all copyrights with torpedo beat should belong to Euro anyways. But I mean, these are the basics. And then you may have a question like, okay, these submarines seem not totally historically accurate. What the hell? And this is true. This is Halloween event. You have to understand, guys, that while we're really excited about submarines, introducing them as a fully rightful fifth class into the game in PvP, right, is a huge task. And first, we need a proof of concept to make sure that the gameplay we developed is enjoyable. This is why they're introduced only in Halloween event for now. And when the event is launched in October, we'll be extremely excited to learn the feedback from you, to know what you guys think about this gameplay. And if this is successful, if you like the event, if you like the submarines, if we have proper feedback to improve it, then we will strongly consider adding submarines as a fifth class in World of Warships. Well, when we're ready. Because basically introducing them to the regular game is a huge amount of effort. As you can see, the underwater world, we need to work a lot of content. We need to work on tech trees. We need to work on depth chargers, commander skills, and all game components basically. But we really want your feedback on Halloween, so be sure to play it. I think I'm done with introduction. Maybe you have some questions.
Well, I want to give a massive shout out to our fantastic art team, who, as usual, have done a great job. Just getting creative with the Halloween mode and make this really cool art. And I'm actually, while we continue talking, I'm gonna chuck up some of the sketches from and some of the art designs of the submarines, and also of some of the Halloween skins that will be available in the event, and that the enemies will be sporting. So we're gonna have a look at those while we go through some questions. But I think it looks really, really interesting. Now, of course, the first question was, yes, is this coming to the main game? And it's very much a question of we will see, right? You let us know if you think you want it, and if enough people want it. If you all like the Halloween event, then we'll do what we can. But we know this is a big task, making sure it's implemented in a way that's also balanced. So don't expect it, anytime soon. Now we've got some questions. How long can actually these submarines stay underwater?
So this depends just on parameter oxygen. Oxygen has, as far as I remember, two variables. It's the amount of oxygen, which defines how long can you stay underwater in seconds, and you have it in combat interface and timer, and the speed of replenishing oxygen. So this is balancing factor. And actually, I think that all 5 submarines, steampunk submarines models you will see in Halloween, they have various amounts of oxygen reserves and different replenishing speed. So it's a balancing factor for us. Obviously, we want people to be able to counter the submarines, and we don't want submarine players to spend all time underwater. So this will be like the main management for submarine. You'll have to watch your oxygen and take your time to emerge in some safe place, maybe quickly replenish the oxygen and then submerge.
Okay. Earlier, when you were talking about how to detect fully submerged submarines, you said hydroacoustic search or X-ray. And the chat is freaking out about X-ray.
I mean, X-ray. Sorry for using this term. That's our development probably talk. I mean the distance of guaranteed detection that we have in our game, which can be improved by detection. Target acquisition, I think it's called in English, client target acquisition systems mod. So this is what we call X-ray, because this is a distance where you see all enemies, regardless of smokes, terrain. And for right now in this prototype for submarines, it's still a thing. We're still not sure whether it should be like this, but we'll see, I guess.
Okay. Ryan Cooper, I think, is asking if you actually receive damage if you dive very deep.
No. You cannot receive damage just because you dive very deep. Actually, the controls uh, the controls work like this. You have three stances. You have fully submerged, periscope, and immersed. You just switch between three of these, and then Submarines travels as fast as it can to the stance you selected. So basically, you cannot go deeper than like you're allowed to, and there is no point in doing this.
Okay. Nigel Stevens has a question that I'll answer because he's asking, would diving not put out fires? And no, it would not, because the fire is inside the submarine where there's also oxygen. So being underwater is not going to solve that. I mean, if the submarine is full of water, then yes, the fire will be out, but you'll also have a sunken submarine. So that wouldn't work very well. Edward109K would like to know what's going to be added first, CV rework or submarines?
Submarines are coming in Halloween event in October, right? Halloween is a point in the calendar. We just cannot move it because it's Halloween. So they're coming as a special event. However, if we're talking about possible PvP submarine release and CV rework, I'm like 99% sure that CV rework will be coming sooner. I really don't want to make any promises, estimations, and I don't want any more jokes like Year of Carriers or Year of Submarines. But I can tell you that if everything goes okay with both prototypes, I guess the optimistic estimate of Carriers is still this year, and optimistic estimate for Submarines is 2019. Again, if everything goes conceptually fine, if the concept is working and we don't need to heavily rework it, for example. So basically, CV rework is sooner and it's more prioritized. We worked like a lot of time on this Halloween event, but we're not working on further submarine implementation to the game because we need to prove the concept first.
Okay, cool. So the next question is from Skis. That this is a bit of a this is a question you're probably not going to want to answer, but he's wondering if we can get the old I-4-1 from the Arpeggio collaboration that was, like that made the rounds back in the day.
I know. I mean, sorry guys, it's getting to me. I mean, we absolutely will be open to such collaboration. Just remember that for now, submarines are not coming to the PvP game, and also remember that Arpeggio is a third-party brand, so it will depend also on our negotiations. But obviously, if they are coming to the game, then we will be open to such collaboration, and we know that you guys will be interested in this too.
Okay. Os Viver would like to know if we have any ideas yet how nation flavor is going to be implemented for when subs come in.
No, because as I told you, we really are not working on PvP submarines for random battles on historical submarines, right? We just prepared this Halloween event. Again, why? Why not test it in more realistic scenario? Because Halloween event is kind of sandbox. We have limited amount of content. We have one map, for example, several ships. We don't need to rework the whole game for the sake of testing submarines. So for now, it's only about Halloween, and the national traits. Well, they will be developed if the concept is good. And tech trees will be developed, and it's yet to be seen how many tiers of submarines can be in the final tech trees. I won't lie to you, we're thinking about this, but we're not working on this right now because it's like less priority.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now, I want to do like a quick info heads up, right? If you are watching us on Facebook, I've seen that a lot of you are complaining about lags. So this is not on our end. I think everybody else is enjoying the stream just fine. Please do consider switching over to twitch.tv/World of Warships or the official YouTube page where we're also live, and you'll be able to get us without any kind of form of lag. My apologies for that. So can you Hadders would like to know if you can explain the different torpedo types. So what sets them apart in the mode? What's the difference between like the blue and red torpedoes?
There are freezing torpedoes that slow the enemy. There are torpedoes that deal damage. It's just fantasy, of course. But speaking of possible implementation of PvP submarines, we're thinking about either switching torpedo type in the battle or at least assigning each torpedo type to each tube before battle. For example, I'm just fantasizing right now, but we're talking about this with my colleagues. Like it can be Deepwater Torpedoes for several tubes for hitting big targets, obviously battleships, for example, and cruisers, and regular torpedoes. So because submarines only viable armament are torpedoes, we want to pay extra attention to it, and this is why we're thinking about different torpedo types and loader mechanics and all kind of these things.
Does that mean that we're currently not planning to give them the sort of deck gun armament that historically many submarines had, or is this just a conversation that has yet to be had?
We can, but I'm not sure. Like it's 75 millimeters cannon, right? Single one at best, I guess, something like this. I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't remember the historical calibers of deck armament, but it was basically very tiny, and in our game reality, it will be very inefficient as it was in real life. So when I am telling you the only viable armament, that means that we may introduce historical armament to submarines like deck guns, but don't expect them to be like your real weapon. It's just, to make salute for the enemy, to launch fireworks mostly. But torpedoes are the main armament. It's bread and butter of submarines. So we want to, as I told you, we want to pay extra attention to this armament, and maybe you can expect new mechanics, new torpedo types, and more gameplay around torpedoes.
Okay, cool. Okay, so the guy is called German League of Legends, apparently. Interesting name. He wants to know if a dead ship can be hit by a submarine. So basically, if you've sunk a ship, can you collide with it underwater?
Yeah, I mean there is collision mechanics, but we don't want ramming and all these things to be real important element of gameplay. It's yet to be seen how it will work. Obviously, allowing players to die by colliding with enemy ship is very questionable. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see about that. As I told you, the main gameplay is performing stealth assassin attacks, not doing stupid things. However, doing stupid things in our game can be fun as well. So we'll see to what extent we should allow such collisions and interactions in the future.
Okay. In the same sort of vein, Decliner would like to know if there are going to be underwater obstacles that you have to sort of evade, dodge, like corals, rocks, those kind of things.
Oh, you could have noticed some like there is some underwater terrain in Hello mode. We'll see to what extent it should be if we implement them, and if we start reworking the maps to be able to accommodate submarines. I guess it's just open question for now.
Well, I can just say that we do definitely need one of those Hunt for Red October deep water trenches in the final implementation somewhere, at least if you want to make me really happy. Okay, cool. So next question is from Mech Raidrock. He would like to know what happens when you run out of oxygen.
You're forced to emerge, basically. And this can be very, very unpleasant if you're forced to emerge like between the enemy lines or in the very center of enemy fleet, but you're forced to emerge. And this
so you have to come up. You won't take like damage. You don't have an option to stay down.
You don't
exchange for hit points.
As far as I remember, right now you don't have any options to stay down. If oxygen is depleted, you just emerge automatically, and then it's like it will depend on the situation above you.
Okay, cool. Tenchi Chin, that's just a non-submarine question, but I'll allow it because why not? It's this kind of day. He says we've already seen fast attack boats in scenarios. Is there a chance we'll also get to control those as a player one day?
Attack boats?
Schnellboote.
Oh, I mean, we're not working on this kind of gameplay. It's just for operation, and that's it. Like, yeah, come on, guys. Basically, reworking CV is almost like introducing new class to the game. Submarines are like 100% new class in the game. I think it's enough to keep us busy for the year or even years to come. For now,
this is true. Yes. So Mycotech would like to know, because he says the speed of submerged submarines seems really fast.
Yes, that's exactly.
But this is a PvE specific thing.
Well, we don't have any PvP specific things because we don't have any proper PvP prototype even within the studio. But yes, I know that historically, of course, we all understand that historical submarines probably were like one of the lowest speed ship classes. And yes, they are a bit like tweaked because we don't want the gameplay to be too boring. And if we keep submarines very very slow, then I uh, I guess the gameplay won't be interesting. But good thing is that in Halloween we can allow ourselves to tune any parameters as we want, basically.
Yeah, it's a good little sandbox for us to play in. Next question is, will depth charges damage surface ships like they did in real life if they go off underneath them?
I don't know. I'm not sure that our game logic even tested such interaction, to be honest. Uh, so I don't know about this.
Okay.
I can. What can I? But yeah, I mean, talking about depth charges, if we just repeat what I've said and go into more detail, so they're launched from destroyers, uh, AI controlled destroyers and AI controlled buildings. They start submerging. They detonate on random depth. They have very big splash radius. They can detonate on contact with submarine, absolutely. And if they detonate on contact with submarine, the submarine is in trouble. They can deal a lot of damage, but also if they detonate nearby, they have big splash damage, so they're very dangerous. And basically, this is something we want players to try to avoid to create this
Okay.
kind of dodging gameplay.
Yeah, that really sounds quite cool. I don't know if we're gonna have any kind of torpedoes, enemy torpedoes in the Halloween operation, but Edward 109 would like to know if destroyers can hit submarines with torpedoes, or if destroyers in general can be hit by torpedoes.
Right now, emerged and periscope depth submarines can be hit by torpedoes as regular ships.
Okay, cool. What about Deepwater Torpedoes? Now we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we don't have like as if you guys remember how we introduced Deepwater Torpedoes in the game, we had two options. Basically, we could stick to the real ship draught, and then it would be very complex solution because some cruisers have more displacement than battleships and so on and so forth. It would be very very hard to memorize what you can hit and what you cannot hit with Deepwater Torpedoes. So for the sake of smoother gameplay and simplicity, we stick to the class based torpedoes. So we can introduce deepwater torpedoes that hit particular classes. They're tied to class type. In Halloween event, there are no deepwater torpedoes anyways, but if in future we will have to design deepwater torpedoes versus submarine interaction, we'll just set it up as we want. Probably deepwater torpedoes shouldn't hit submarines because they have very tiny displacement anyways.
Okay. I think the next question is again one that we won't be able to answer yet. It's will submarines get things like a sonar consumable themselves?
This everything like this is yet to be seen because obviously the gameplay in Halloween Operation and possible gameplay of submarines in PvP in the future are quite different. The part where you hunt the submarine, you try to counter the submarine, is yet to be designed. We really want to concentrate on you guys attacking surface ships right now, and if this part is good, we'll go on and design other interactions. So we'll see. And I saw the question in the chat about interactions with carriers, some anti-submarine equipment for carriers, and yes, we know about such facts, and all of these questions will be fully taken into account and addressed if we implement submarines in PvP.
Okay. Let's move on to two less serious questions, and then we can talk a bit maybe about the Halloween event. So, Mr. Bacon, oh no, sorry. Vigilante would like to know, because this is obviously the most important question, will submarines have horns?
Well, it's a good idea, but I guess we should introduce another type of cosmetics to submarines. Maybe colored engine trails or something like this. I don't know.
Sounds good.
Yeah, but it would be cool to actually honk the horn underwater and see the bubbles coming out. I look forward to it.
We should definitely suggest that. Mr. Bacon would like to know if there's going to be a submarine called Octavian.
Well, guys, I mean, if you have a petition for this, I guess the company won't be able to resist. Uh, I won't accept any royalties. I just let them make it for free. So it's in your hand, guy. It's in your hands, guys. If you want it, just vote for it, call for it.
Okay. So Whiskey Fox would like to know how long the Halloween event is going to last, and whether we can expect similar rewards to the last two Halloween events we've run.
I cannot tell you the exact dates right now, exact length, but it's going to be like more or less in the tradition of last two Halloween events.
Okay. Is there anything you can say yet about how to get hands on these really, really beautiful camouflages and skins that we've seen?
As usual, some of them will be distributed in various ways. Obviously, for surface ships for now. Uh, just watch the news because this update is coming. It's not coming right now, but it's coming in the foreseeable future. We'll have a full set of publication with all publications on Portal with all details. So just watch the news.
Okay, I'm just looking, guys. I can see there are lots of questions about things like will submarines be able to cap in future, and like all these kind of things, right? If and when we do implement submarines into PvP, we're going to be answering all of these questions. But for now, in terms of the Halloween mode, these are not mechanics that are needed, so it's not something that we've like spent time on thinking about. And especially not developing. So I'm gonna skip these questions for now because unfortunately there's not much that we can say about it. But for sure, submarines will like in some way be able to cap. But we'll get to that. We have one or two more interesting questions. So Guitaristing would like to know how flooding is going to be, or is flooding going to be interacting with emerging in any way?
We did not work on this right now. Basically, most of the mechanics that are in the game interact as usual, like as with usual ships without any additions. I think I got you through all new mechanics, and this is it.
Yes. Pretty much. So yes, guys, I don't think I see any more questions. I mean, like, look, I know the questions are relevant, and definitely we need to think about if we can get attack dolphins to spot the submarines. But at the time being, unless you have any more questions specifically about the mechanics in the Halloween event, or the Halloween event itself, maybe, I think we should shelve those questions to a later date to make sure we can actually give you a relevant answer, not one that's just, like wait and see until we can tell you. But yeah, this was exciting stuff. And Sabatavian, thank you very much for coming, like in spite of your sickness. As you can see, Sabatavian is from home. Is the cat around somewhere?
Don't worry. Yeah, there is a cat around somewhere. It's sleeping in the corner. He's sleeping in the corner. I'm not going to see him from here. Anyways, I feel much better and much more relieved after the leak. I even forgot about my sickness. And guys, thank you. I wish I could come to yesterday's stream for birthday, but I had to do it in Russian. Now I have a chance to tell you like happy birthday, World of Warships. Happy birthday to all of us because you're playing our game for 3 years. It's crazy. It's been a long road, but as you can see from the stream, the game keeps evolving and many things will happen, many exciting things. And everything of it is possible only because you're supporting us and you're staying with us. So thanks a lot. Have fun. And while waiting for submarines, have fun with the next few updates with British Royal Navy ARC and so on and so forth. Yeah. Happy birthday, guys.
Thank you very much. Also for me, absolute great happy birthday to all of you guys. Thanks for tuning in yesterday. We're not going to be quite done yet. I'll play the video for you one more time if you want to see it again, but we will, of course, in our usual fashion, also be releasing it on our YouTube channel. You can check the stream VOD. And afterwards, because I'm here already, all of this stuff is set up and plugged in. We might as well play a couple of random battles. So if anybody wants to join me and play Division with me, get in game, send a little in-game message to Mr. Conway, and I'll invite you depending on like your invitations. So if you want to stick around for a bit of gameplay, because I have a couple of tier 10 ships still to do, and I haven't yet opened my super containers that I've already got, because I thought I'd do it with you guys to get a bit of stream RNG. We can do that together. But yeah, thank you very much, Sub Octavian. We shall see you probably soon, I hope. we'll find some excuse to have you along for sure. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. I'll gladly do it more. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So chat, just you and me now. I really hope that you enjoyed the first look at submarines. I spent a lot of last week figuring out how we were going to do this today. Unfortunately, it was a little bit spoiled by it's tough with international deadlines and many different time zones that people work and live in. So there's no bad intention behind something like this going out a little bit early. It just sometimes happens, and we'll try and avoid that for the future. Like I said, I'm going to leave you with the submarine video one more time, and then afterwards we're going to go and play some World of Warships together. So if you want a division, head in game, PM Mr. Conway on the European server, obviously, and yeah, we'll see you in a few minutes. Until then, let's look at submarines. Okie dokie. Here we are again. Yeah, I hope you all really enjoy that. It's St. Petersburg has been putting a lot of time and effort and love into the new game mode there, and it shows. You know, having seen it firsthand, I can tell you that it looks fantastic, and it's a lot of fun to play. We've had, like I said, a demonstration in the office today. It's still a little bit rough around the edges because it's, you know, it's like a pre-super test build at the moment. But we're definitely going to get it ready and working for you, and it's going to be super exciting. Now, I want to do this because I really want to do this. So I want to start off with opening these bloody super containers because I've been itching for ages to do it, and because I believe that... Oh, 1,000 dividends. I believe that doing it on stream is going to maybe yield some better results. There's a couple of regular containers in there, but... do it quickly. I've got a load of people who've already messaged me for divisioning. We've got a bit of time, so I'll, you know, I'll do the usual thing. I'll work through you, you know, in the order you've messaged me in. But bear in mind, I'm just one person. I have 2 spaces, so maybe we won't be able to do everyone if you haven't messaged me yet. More doubloons! God damn it! So like the one thing I never need is doubloons. I want coal or steel. Ah, Gamescom camos. They're quite swanky, but I have plenty. Coal or steel? Come on, chat. I believe. Help me. How did you get these super containers? All you need to do is play a single game in a tier 10 ship and you'll get a super container for every tier 10 ship you have as part of our anniversary, you know, like thank you gift to you guys. So just get in game and like, yeah, take out your tier 10 ships. If you don't have a tier 10 ship, you've got a little bit of time left to get one if you want to get super containers for it. So go for it. Go, go, go. I believe. And now it's not rigged. I wish the technology to rig containers was there, but like we don't actually have the capability to do this. These are just, I thought I had more super containers. Need to play more tier 10 ships. No, I think this is just... I could have sworn there was one more. Yes, there it is, the last one. And can we have something nice? Okay. Anyway, let's take this division into a game. Let's see how we can do. Still rigged? But yeah, if you want super containers, just go play. Just go play. A lot of people have messaged me already, so we'll see how many we can get through. In the meantime, if you still have questions, if the awesome Twitch mods want to add questions to the top of my awesome list, just need to figure out which mouse belongs to which bloody screen and where I can actually check your messages, questions. Sorry about that. So yeah, if the awesome Twitch mods want to add a couple more questions just for me or for the European team or for other things, happy to answer them. Bearing in mind that I can't really say any more about submarines than what we've talked about and spoken about because it's not ready yet. Okay. Oh, also, I need to kind of reposition my microphone arm or I'm going to have to play without minimap. Those of you who were here yesterday know that can be a dangerous task. I got smacked in the face by a microphone arm last week. You can still, well, it is but a scratch now. Is Serb still working at Wargaming? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Rumor has it that nobody knows exactly where at Wargaming he's working because he goes where he pleases, but he is around. He's like a legit he knows his stuff. I mean, he basically invented World of Tanks, which is, you know, a massive success and a good game. World of Warships is better, of course, but you know. How about getting some elite XP back from commanders you release? Well, I don't know, because if we do that, then, you know, there's never any... You can just sort of recycle old commanders, and I don't know. I kind of feel like if you have a commander that already has enough experience to warrant keeping that experience, then you should, you know, keep that experience. I hope Strange is going to go use his CV to scout for me here. I don't really feel like going all alone into that cap. I could, but should I? Can I actually cap behind that island? No, I don't think so. No. If I do this, I will surely die. We're already pushing it with the distance I'm at. See? There's the Udaloy that would definitely spot me. This stranger's going to drop him. Here you see a prime demonstration of one of the issues with the current CV build. Strangers, of course, being very, very good at CVs, knows exactly how to use this power. There's the first drop on the Udaloy. There's the second drop on the Udaloy. I think the Udaloy is going to get away with his life. However, oh god, wrong ammunition. At least he's going to get away from strangers. Let's see if we can't take him out, because that would be quite nice. Come on. He should be well and truly dead. Nice. That's one problem taken care of. Now I just need to get out of here. Well, that should also be okay. Yeah, aircraft carriers at the moment are not in a good spot. I mean, I think this is something that we all know. Even the people who really like playing aircraft carriers, and the rework should change this and make it, you know, like really fit in the game without creating balance issues. Strangers is not even playing the CV? What? Oh, it's Johan. Okay, sorry, I didn't realize. I just saw CV and I realized I'm in the division with strangers, so I thought he must be the one, but fair enough. They're both not slouches when it comes to playing the game, so they'll both be able to pull something nice off this with CVs. I don't feel I can contest over here. I've got the Yamato and the Richelieu, but if I push in, I'm just going to eat an absolute shitload of AP from the east. Middle seems secure so far. That's okay. The Yamato should be able to. They should be able to hold them off for a while at least. I'm chucking some long-range spam on the Baltimore. Maybe get a couple of fires, bit of damage, and far enough from anyone that it won't really hurt me too much if they shoot back. And I'll mosey over to A. See if we can't make that Shimmer's life a bit more difficult. Hitting things at this range with the Worcester is a challenge. Strangers does also play surface ships. Wow. Who knew? I mean, I knew, but... This is not a Fatso Jesus abuse stream, by the way. Be nice to Fatso Jesus if he's here. Oh, God. Baltimore? Oh, rest in pieces. It seems like I don't need to do anything in that cap. Our CV has it absolutely covered. Can I get a few sneaky hits into that? Oh, probably not. Anyway, that Shimakaza is bound to be lurking around somewhere. Let's set up that Hydro. Conway won't hurt himself. He's going to play co-op anyway. Thank you very much, Zehalis. Wow. I heard the name Fatso Jesus. Yes. Yes, you did. He actually once I almost met him when Flamel was visiting us in Prague. He desperately wanted to meet Flamel, but then I think didn't, and I don't know what exactly happened, but I never got to see him. He has to remain in the realm of mythology for me, for Mr. Fatso Jesus. But I know of him. Yeah, slow game so far. Worcester doesn't do too well on this map unless you can go find an island somewhere. I could have parked up behind here and just sort of spammed people, but didn't feel like doing that today. I don't think Shimmer is in radar range yet either. I'm going to go a little ballsy and I'm going to try and hurt this Turpitz. If Worcester gets the chance to unload on you, it's just not. It's very uncomfortable. Let's hope we can get a quick fire in there. Ah, there it is. The magic shells, of course, looping over the island and hit him anyway. Yep, 2 ships in our favor. Both sunk by Johan in the CV. Good job. I think I can actually afford to push in here a little bit and try and get the radar into the shimmer. Let's see. Are HSF collection girls still dropping from regular containers? I don't think so. Although, if you have it enabled, to be honest, right now I'm not entirely sure either way. If I tell you something, I would be able to be 100% sure, so I'd rather not. So, Mr. Shimakaza, are you here? Huh, he isn't. That's disappointing. Worcester and Alsace on the left flank there, not really being able to do much. The Torpedoes is not even bothering to push. Okay, well he's going to have to move now with the Zao torpedoes on the way. Wow, monster drop coming in on the Conqueror there from Johan. That's going to be very, very unpleasant for that Conqueror. Might actually, yeah, that Conqueror's dead. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. There are the drops. Torps incoming. And goodbye. So, Tippets, come on. Just a little bit further. I can see your nose. That's all I need. Oh god, Neptune AP on my broadside is not nice. You have to wiggle. Yeah, that Torpedo is going to eat so much damage from me if he just stands there. I'll take it. How can I have a chance in the game? Can I buy it in the premium shop? I don't know exactly what you mean. Our game is free to play. You can buy things in the premium shop, but you can also do completely without buying things in the premium shop. Have a great time and win games. Oh, I love the shell arcs of this thing. Like, you have an island? I don't think so. Try punting at the Neptune a bit, but it's unlikely I'm actually going to hit him in that range, unless he just goes straight, in which case he'll deserve whatever comes to him. Yeah, like you gotta wiggle. You really gotta wiggle. Ah, he's wiggling now. The Worcester you really can't shoot where the people are, or even where they will be. It's where you think they might go. Wow, that was a Johan. That was a bit. That was just making a point, wasn't it? That poor guy. Neptune gone as well. This, I think we're probably going to win this. You know, I have to say, I miss my twin. He's over in the office. He's got like an important conference call to do. But if you're watching this, I'm really disappointed that you're not here. And I think you should come and join me. So lonely. When are we going to get the Collectors Club? So we are working on the Collectors Club, and we do want to deliver it to you. However, it just requires a bit of backend coding that we had to sort of put on hold for a while we focus on the important things like CV rework, submarines. But we are still fully planning on giving you a Collectors Club. So stay tuned for that, and it'll come.
Torpedoes, direct front. Torpedoes to starboard.
Are you giving out coats today? I'm assuming you mean codes, because I don't actually have any coats. And I mean, it's still quite warm, so I don't know if you need them yet, depending on where you live. But today is a no-code day. We went a little bit ham yesterday, gave out like 25,000 basically bonus codes, plus I think 55 premium ships and stuff. But this is something we do for special occasions. And today I thought that the announcement of like an entirely new line not line, class of ships was sufficiently cool. So no giveaways today. You know, hang out, and we're gonna do giveaways again in the future, but just not today. I don't wanna, like, the Hakuryu can go hide in this corner. I would much rather go shoot the turbines. A bit of a slow game here. I wouldn't mind a Wargaming branded coat. Well, we do have a like a merchandise store, right? Which is wargamingstore.eu, and you can buy not a coat, but you can buy a jacket, I believe. Or might only be the World of Tanks jacket. At least you can get a very fancy jumper, which is quite cool and warm. So if you want World of Warships clothing, you can have it.
Our victory is in sight.
Oh, Worcester versus Worcester at range. This could potentially be quite a long match. Or short, in case he just kills me, because it's easier to kite than to chase. God, especially with the bloody Worcester. You know what, Worcester? If you want to go run away, go run away. I'll go farm some plane kills instead. He's doing a much better job of hitting me. I don't want to push my button yet. I want to wait for those pesky torpedo bombs to come in.
Problem solved, sir.
And I also have 0 AA spec. Actually, he's not going to survive the torpedo bomber, so I might as well push the button.
Anti-aircraft gun crews are on full alert.
Johan, if you could go spot the Hakuryu for me, that would be really helpful.
Our team has taken the lead.
Because right now, I'm literally just guessing.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Oh, and a Kraken for Johan. Nice. And he also wants clear sky. Well. That Hakuryu is mine.
Anti-aircraft gun crews are on normal alert.
Come on. Not much time left till the game ends. Nice.
Enemy aircraft carrier blown up.
Not too bad. Mr. Conway pushing the button, be afraid, be very afraid. Nah, it's like I'm a nice guy. Most of the time. Okay. Decent game. Most importantly, I get another super container. Unless I've forgotten I'd already played it. Wow. There are a lot of you who want to play. Holy mother of... I should... Well, oh god. Oh god. Oh god. If my interface at all still works after this, I'd be very surprised. Oh god. So let's... Well, you know, if you can find find it under the... God damn it, what did I get? Must minimize all of the windows. Must minimize. Come on, go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. Wow. Wow. No, I mean, those are actually useful, but I've still got a stash of those, so... Wow, a second one? I actually got a super container instead of my daily container. On top of the super container that I got for the game. Nice. Oh no. How did I get... Where did that second super container come from? Ha! Huh. Anyway, thank you very much, Johan and strangers. Remove from division. Yes, go away. Thank you. Good game. Well played. Now, if I can find who's next, I think it is Lionhearted from WG Pay to Win. And then Grand Admiral Thrawn. Fantastic character, that. Great books. Can only recommend to read. From WGP2L. Okay. So, we're not going to play... Gents, where's my division window? Aha! Hiding. All the way down there. God damn it. If there only was... I don't know. I don't think I've done Moskva yet. And please do appreciate the beautiful Tokyo Game Show camo, especially in the Moskva. I'm hoping I'm triggering a couple of people over in Russia right now. I certainly think it looks absolutely glorious. You didn't open it earlier? I thought I opened all of them. Well. Can we go down to 30-second slow mode, please? Oh, moderators, can we please kill the slow mode? Like, there's really, like, just please deactivate it. There's no more need for slow mode. That's fine. That slow mode was like when it was going a bit crazy. Now, just take it out. It's fine. It's fine. Do you know Graf Zeppelin? I do. I do. What the flying fuck of a camo is that? It is the Tokyo Game Show camo. It is truly fabulous, strangers. And if you're really, really nice of me, maybe you can have one. See, Hallis chills and stream during his work time. Well, yes and no, because, you know, we're community managers. You're the community, so we're kind of here managing, you know, community. I've seen some questions here. Can we have the ship anchoring feature from Phoenix 726? I don't know what the ship anchoring feature is. If you mean the silly scene from Battleship where they drop the anchor to do a really hard turn, I've suggested this, but I was promptly thrown out of the room. Vladimir Josh would like to know, will World of Warships consider battlecruisers? We already have battlecruisers in the game. We are likely not going to add them as a separate class because... why? Like, I mean, it ultimately doesn't really matter too much if it's designated a cruiser or a battleship. It's more about how it performs and plays in the end. And so we've got a couple of battlecruisers in the game, and they work, you know, in the battleship tree or in the cruiser tree or wherever. So there's no real need to have a separate class of battlecruisers. It would bring very little... Oh, we're going south, are we? Sorry. It would bring very little value, in my opinion. Oh, Lude. I'll just call him Dave. Hello, Dave. The red button is... yeah, I'll keep the finger away from it. Question for the team. Will you add the ability to use a gamepad? That's a good question that I can't answer right now. I was under the impression that you can already. I mean, you can definitely use... that. You can definitely get emulators that basically use a gamepad to, you know, like that just take whatever control you put in and transfer it into a keyboard mouse control. I know that works. So you could try that, and you should be able to play with a gamepad. But maybe with the coming World of Warships Legends on Xbox, that's something that we can port over. But I'm not sure. That's like a very technical question there. Until when can you exchange the tokens? You can exchange them up until the update, which, if I am not entirely mistaken, is coming on Thursday. So the day after tomorrow. I might be completely wrong, but I don't think so. It's either... It should be Thursday. So please do make sure you exchange your tokens before the update, because after the update, they will no longer be valid currency in the arsenal. And this is the way you can expect it to work for the event currencies in general. Ouch! Look at all that wargaming focus right there. Like, oh, look at some wargaming focus. No. They probably just shot me because I was visible from space and I'm a Moskva, so I'm an easy target. It's fine. Is there a list of percentage drop rates from super containers? No, there is not, and it's also not something that we are intending to publish. Right? Super containers are also like even if we were to publish one, I mean, we usually do publish things that can be dropped and not percentages, but sort of rough probabilities from, you know, like containers that we sell, like the Christmas containers, for example. But for super containers, right, you get them through playing anyway. So we really want to keep it a surprise. But you know, like there's always a high chance to drop signals. There's a lower chance to drop the boons premium time, and there's a very low chance to drop premium ships. So it's just, you know, it's a pretty common sense, but the exact percentages are not going to be released now. Could you introduce a crew checkbox for elite status ships that they wouldn't keep gaining excess ship XP, but in turn give more command XP like you have in World of Tanks? Maybe. I see where you're getting at, right? And why you're asking for it, and I don't disagree. However, as opposed to World of Tanks, you gain commander XP, especially when you know, like add. Oh god, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have made that turn. Especially when you add camouflages and signals and all of that kind of jazz in, you gain a ridiculous amount of commander XP already, right? This is already something you get a lot of, so don't necessarily think there's such a big need to add additional ways to just pump that up even more. And as opposed to World of Tanks, you can also use the elite commander XP from other ships to already boost commanders. So, you know, like the elite commander XP is a very, very valuable commodity in World of Warships, and one that we just give you for playing. In World of Tanks, if you want to use free XP, you can use free XP directly to give commanders skill boosts, but obviously free XP is also needed for other things. So I think it's a good system that we've split it up, and then you can have the choice to use it, but you can just, yeah. So probably not is the answer I would give you. Will there be another option in the future to get steel besides ranked and clan battles? Most likely, yes. Like we'll see, right? I mean, clan steel is always going to be a reward for the most difficult and sort of most intense gameplay that we have available, because that's what the whole currency was in, as a way to give, you know, like our most engaged and loyal supporters that, you know, play all these special modes, a way to you know, get something nice for it. He's reversing, isn't he? So I would say that there will probably be more ways to earn them, but, you know, like, don't expect it to be like something that you get as easily as coal, where you just play and open containers and get some coal. You're going to have to always work for steel. That's the idea behind steel. But the rewards are also, you know, great. Could you introduce a femme commander? As in, if you... Oh, God. If you mean femme as in femininely, I don't know. Maybe she'll get a portrait at some point. But if she gets it before I do, I'm going to be very salty. And could we have female commanders? We have Dasha. Is she not female enough for you? And, you know, like, now that we have the first one, maybe we'll have more in future. But it's not something I can give you any more information on. We're not opposed to the idea of female commanders, and we've got the first one in game, so wait and see. I know that, especially on the Soviet side, there were actually some very legitimately famous and sort of famous heroic female captains and commanders. So it would be quite cool to see them at some point. I think we did an article about one of them. Alena commander? Well, you know, Alena's still new. She has to earn her slot. Plus, you guys pestered us about Dasha commanders for way longer than you started pestering us for Alena commander, so we had to kind of acquiesce. For Alena, well, let's see. We will see. I wouldn't say no. Why aren't premium ship credits and XP coefficients published like in tanks? Okay, if they're published in tanks, that is absolute news for me as someone who worked on World of Tanks for many years. I mean, like, we have a coefficient, as in you get 50% more, but that's the only coefficient we publish. You know, this is not something in general, we could of course give you an exact list of like this will give you this much more XP, this will give you this much, because the calculation is done in the back end. But we feel that if we do this, it will probably change the way you play, because if you're like me and you really want the next chip, you're gonna play to min-max. You're not gonna play the way you usually play. You're not necessarily going to play to win. You're going to play to get the maximum amount of credit or the maximum amount of XP. And what if that is something that changes your in-game behavior? That's something we really don't want to see. That's something we want to avoid. That's the one thing. And the other thing is that our system actually works very well. And if we publish it, it'll become public information and can easily be ripped off by other companies. And so it's just one of those things that we would prefer to keep under wraps. Sorry. That's just the reality of it. Are you planning to purchase premium time or even doubloons in exchange for cold steel in the arsenal? Like I wouldn't say never. It's not something that I'm aware of as in the pipeline right now. But I mean, the technology is certainly there. We might think about it. But on the other hand, you have to realize that we are a business, and we have a lot of employees, a lot of developers, and we, like the ways that we make money off the game with premium time and doubloons, we need to make that money to be able to make that game for you guys. So it's we give away a lot of stuff for free, but we can't give everything away for free. So I would expect that premium time and doubloons are gonna be like a very rare thing to earn in game. Oh, Mr. Yu Yang, I'm very sorry, but you are actually parked well within my radar range. I mean, I think you're just parking someone else's right now, but you're dead, mate. You're dead. Come on. Give me that kill. Give it to me. Okay, well, he's done. I haven't even used my radar yet. Oh, maybe I can flash out that gearing. Speaking of that gearing, is he already in range? He might very well be. Let's have a look. Aha. Hello. Terrible timing, because he's going to get safe behind there. Wow, with only 1,000 damage. And his rudder at least taken out or something. Suspicious amount of people aiming at me again. Shows us battleships, hoping for some easy citadels. And here it comes. As expected. Nope, not this time. So what was World of Warships New Year's promise now? Was it not? We're not going to add submarines in the game, we're wrong? So look, for a very long time, when we said we're never going to add submarines in the game, we literally meant we're never going to add submarines in the game. At some point then, because we really weren't planning to, and at some point then, when we decided, hey, we're actually going to, sorry about that notification right now, add submarines into the game, we really didn't want to just tell you and spoil the surprise, right? It's something you want to spend a bit of time savoring and having some fun with. And I know we were recently at Gamescom, and the same question about submarines came up, and we knew submarines were coming, and we just said, well, no, we're not going to have submarines, because, come on, you're gonna let us have some fun too. And it's not as though, adding submarines in is a bad thing for you or for the game or anything, that we we promised we're never going to do this, now we're doing this, we're such scumbags. No, it's cool. We're giving you an entirely new class of ships to play with. Probably going to implement them in PvP as well if you guys like the way they work, and it's going to be exciting, right? The concept for the gameplay looks interesting. The mechanics, you'll be able to test them beforehand in the Halloween mode. They already work, and yeah, I think it's going to be good for the game. Oh god, essentially looped the shells over there. And it's going to be overall fun. So I don't think you should be mad about us saying no. We should be a little bit mad about the surprise being spoiled like an hour early, but that happens. Mr. Conway, maybe add the devs as commanders. So we've already got a lot of the St. Petersburg devs as commanders. If you just don't know, but almost all of the commander portraits in game are staff. Most of them from St. Petersburg. I am not in the game yet. Neither is Chrysantos. We want to. We've been complaining about this for a while. And next time we're in St. Petersburg, I will try and insist. But as like a separate named commander with like mechanics or skills, it's not something we want to do because, you know, we have so many historically relevant, famous captains and admirals that it would be much more interesting to a much wider audience. I think it would be silly to implement, you know, like a Sub-Octavian commander as Sub-Octavian. His name is of course in game already. His face is already in game, so that's something you could do. How about Mr. Conway, Commander? No matter what happens to your ship, he says everything is fine. Like, I would support this, personally, just because how could you not? But, like I said, from a logical perspective, it makes no sense to add someone like me in the game. I'm not, like, hardly anybody knows me anyway. On the other hand, do you ever think we'll be able to buy steel or coal? No. Like, if we wanted to... Look, if we have things in the game, like premium ships, premium time, that you can buy with doubloons, which is an in-game currency that you can purchase, you can buy, right? So why would we sell you a different in-game currency? We have an in-game currency. This in-game currency is specifically designed to make you play for it, to be able to give it to you liberally in missions and in, you know, for campaigns and for events and tournaments and stuff. This is why we have this you know, this special currency and the arsenal with a very different selection of items that you can buy from it, so that you can also get something exclusive. It's not just like second-hand doubloons. It's something cool, and we want to keep it that way. So we're not planning to sell them. Never say never, but I would very, very much doubt it. When is Mr. Conway Chrysanthos Siamese Twin Commander coming? Well, again. Probably not, but if I can get my face, if we can get our portraits in the game at least, that would be pretty nifty. I'd be happy with that. So, Grand Admiral Thrawn, finish off that Montana, and we can take our victory. 134,000 damage. You know, like nothing to write home about. I wasn't really paying much attention, to be honest. I was semi-AFK reading chat, but yeah, decent. Moskva is a good ship. Does the Dolphin Captain have a unique voice, or is it Japanese language only? I don't know. I'm sorry. I just don't know. Go buy him and find out. What do you think of new British DD line? Fun. Yeah, fun, interesting, different, nice and pushy, which I like. I have 12 battles now, no super containers. You need to play tier 10. So it's tier 10 ships only that give this. VR 3D will be possible. So look, virtual reality in World of Warships. We had like a little bit of virtual reality experience at Gamescom, but it was something that was a bit technologically dated already because yeah, it was just like 2 years old already. I don't think it makes much sense to have like a full virtual reality thing, because virtual reality really shines when you play a game that works from the first perspective. You don't play World of Warships as the captain on the bridge. We don't have that kind of scale modeled. So yes, I'm sure something could be implemented that you kind of steer your ship, you know, like from a bird perspective or something. But it's gonna be a bit weird. And as someone who has virtual reality at home, and that I don't think it'll be particularly pleasant to play. It'll probably make me sick as hell. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna have like an officially supported virtual reality thing. Like some spin-off things, like World of Tanks, for instance, has a World of Tanks VR, but that's not really made for home use so much as for like location-based VR arcades where you go, and that's quite cool. But that's essentially like a different game. Made also by an external company, using our assets and our game engine. So maybe something along those lines, but this is just my personal musings and mutterings. Don't take this as gospel. Will we have a chance to buy the space camels or even steampunk camels for the ships again, besides a giveaway? Probably, yes. I can't tell you when. We did already resell the space camels once. The steampunk camos, if you mean the Halloween camos, I think you can probably expect them around. Oh, which time of year could that be? Oh, Halloween, right? So just give like wait and see what's coming at Halloween. I don't know, so I can't promise, but there's a good chance you'll be able to get some more Halloween content at Halloween. It seems like the opportune time to do it. Why can I not add this person? Maybe he went offline. Sorry, Lokotenent Nikolai. Priceless Pringle. That is a good nickname. I shall take you along to Kansa. Also, no, wait. That's the other container. Did I already? God damn it! Wow, that's a lot of coal. It seems like I already played the Moskva. I really should have kept track of what I have played and what I haven't played. Are you planning to work the graphic engine for World of Warships like World of Tanks, improve graphics and details, multi-core, support SLI and such? Now, this is something we've talked about before. World of Tanks, was a much is a much older game. I think World of Tanks released originally, started off 2007. So their graphics engine was really back a lot further. Our graphics engine was sort of spliced off the one that World of Tanks uses much later, so it was already better, and it was already improved upon for release. So our engine isn't as dated as the old World of Tanks engine was. So there's no need for us to go and just slash it and replace it with World of Warships 2.0 engine or something like that. We are going to continue making tweaks and improvements to the graphics engine as we go along, but I don't think you can expect a complete new overhaul anytime soon. I don't think it's needed. The game looks gorgeous. I find it looks gorgeous also in 4K now that the what's it called, the UI scaling works properly. It is really a very pretty game at higher resolutions as well. So I don't think we really need to push it in that regard. Maybe eventually, but at the moment, I wouldn't mind World of Warships with ray tracing, but I don't think we're there yet. Plus, hardly anybody would be able to power that. Is there a possibility you can reveal if there will be a Polish line in World of Warships? Maybe. So, if you know, we recently announced at Gamescom that we would be implementing a new nation, a pan-European nation. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a container nation for smaller European countries that maybe don't have enough ships for their whole own tree, right? And we also announced that Poland is going to be moving in there with the Błyskawica, and that we're going to have 2 additional ships coming at some point. The first ones are going to be one Dutch ship and one Austro-Hungarian ship. Right, so those are coming. So Poland is not going to get a tree now. There is a chance in the future it might get one, and if it does, we'll then move them out into their own nation again. But Poland will, they had some ships, but we've got other priorities, other big navies to work on before. So this is nothing we can do. So I can give you a resounding maybe. In the light of the recent ranked season, is there going to be a change to reward team play over selfish play? The current system rewards solo play over team play. Yeah, I know that there's a concern with the point saving in ranked. It was a really good illustration of this using the prisoner's dilemma on Reddit a couple of weeks ago. And we know that there's going to be a bit of a something that we need to look at. How exactly we're going to tackle it and whether or not we're going to make a change there, I don't know yet. I've seen your feedback and we forwarded it, and we'll see what we can do. Right? It's not as easy, but we did announce yesterday during the anniversary stream that we will have a slightly different sort of implementation of ranked coming soon. The beginners ranked or baby ranked, we call it internally sometimes, which is going to be different rules at a lower tier and works slightly differently. So that's also another good place where we can do some experimenting. So I think stay tuned for that. Guys, I'm not sure if it's 100% as smooth as it could be for you. I'm just really quickly going to reset my capture card, okay, just to make sure that you're getting the full 1080p 60 fps experience you deserve. Okay, let's move back to that. Fantastic. Okay. Let me know if this is... Oh, God. That was a really bad time to do it. I thought I was... Oh, God. I couldn't even see my screen. I derped. I derped. Iron Jesus, forgive me. Oh, God. Or should I be praying to ship Jesus now? No. 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 Oh, Conway's dead. God damn it. I'm about to get... I'm gonna... I should hold fire. No, but there's no way. I'm so sorry, guys. I derped. I full derped. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to leave you alone for the rest of that game. Yeah. Don't play with settings while in battle. Sorry. I've been reasonably good with my like with the completely screwing up while streaming recently, but you know it does happen, and when it does happen, it is embarrassing. It does hurt a little bit. Yeah, Snazlam. The super container is something you get for playing in tier 10 ships. So if you're not playing tier 10 ships, and you can only get them once per ship, roses are red, violets are blue. There's always Asians playing better than you. Very, very poetic. Kishings, come join me for a game. Naga Hide wants to play as well. Any news on dropped fix for ship rendering issues are BB pens on DDs? So BB pens on DDs is something we're going to be testing with upcoming super test. We have a solution that we think will work, but it really depends. You know, like you guys have an astonishing capability of breaking things, so we're going to test that. But it looks quite good so far. And the rendering issues are going to be going live with the update, and it should be fixed. Looks very good on public test, and so far everybody's been giving good feedback. So yeah, rendering issues should be done. Okay, so if these people are not going to join me, I'll invite some more. Super Canadians for tier 10 is only for the first time. Yes, only for the first time. Otherwise, it would get a little bit. You're welcome. It will be a little bit silly. Please try and restrict your questions to stream, right? If you at World of Warships, our awesome moderators are dropping all of the relevant questions in a little chat window, Google Doc for me. So I'll get them there. It's easier, and it doesn't nuke my interface quite as much. So Nagahide, I'm very sorry, but you're being too slow. Hammerold, let's see if he's ready. Regular on the stream, that's for sure. So more questions. Any news? That was the question. Okay. Will we get British CVs when the rework is done? You know better than to ask questions like this. Come on. You know I can't just go here and like just ad hoc announce a new ship line, right? There's like... No, I'd get in trouble. There might be British CVs sometime in the future when the rework is done. But stay tuned for an official announcement in that regard. So have I played... I think I've done the battleships. I really should have paid attention. I think I'll try the Harugumo. I think I might still have a super container for that one. Maybe I'm through as well. I'm not sure. I'm not great in the Harugumo. I'm just warning you in advance. So, Space Skeletor. If submarines are added to the game as ops-only ships currently, will there be premium subs? Well... So for the event, there will not be premium subs because all the subs are going to be event subs. So they're going to be temporary. You'll get them and then we'll take them away again afterwards. You're also only going to get one submarine in the beginning, and then you'll have to play to unlock the others that, you know, have slight differences and everything. What we really want to find out with this, apart from having a super fun Halloween event, is how do the submarines interact with other ships? How much fun is it to play a submarine and to fight against enemies? And this is hopefully something we can answer, and then if you guys really like it, we'll work on implementing them into random battles, where we then have to solve the other issue: is it fun to play against them? So it's you know, lots of big question marks and design work and thinking to be done there. But yeah, it's I think a really cool idea. Is there any chance that Arsenal will be at some point be expanded by a doubloon section to spend doubloons on premium shop things like special commanders? Ha! That's actually a really good idea. I mean, the Arsenal should support this. Seems like a better interface. I don't know why we haven't done this yet. Someone mark that question. Mods, mark that question for me. I will find out why we haven't done that yet. Maybe we'll do it. That actually seems very sensible. It's possible that we want to keep the arsenal a bit separate from doubloons, but you know, why not? Last question from Skycat. Are you planning to sing again during Christmas with Chrysanthos and the other guys' girls? You know what? I'm stupid enough that probably yes. We'll think about it. We'll do it this way. If you guys come up with some cool lyrics and a tune that we can sing it to, I'll make it happen. Is that a deal? I think that's, you know, like, because last time basically Tucky wrote it. Please no singing. Well, you know, it'll be a short thing. But I think it'd be funny. We have a bit of a better setup now for doing it, and I think we can probably put something together that's quite kick-ass. Maybe we can even enlist Mr. Arthur Totash from St. Petersburg to help us with this and make it like a well-produced song. But now we're getting into the realm of fantasy things. And are you going to visit Germany again on your family? Absolutely. I don't know when. My next sort of official trip is going to be on October 19th, where I'll be going to Vienna, to Game City. So if you're around there, come pay us a visit. We're going to be there, me and Mr. Teekanner. So we're going to be showing off World of Warships as usual. And of course, World of Warships Legends is going to be there as well, which is going to be cool. So if you want to get your hands on Xbox version, you want to maybe snag invite to the alpha if you're not in yet, that would be a good opportunity. Not sure what we can show yet there. I would hope that we can show something nice, but it depends a little bit on how the various things we're working on right now, like Halloween and CVs, are progressing in the pipeline. So I can't promise any particular content yet. We'll have to wait and see what's ready. Is there any plan to increase the number of equipable flags? No. Like, come on, 8 of them should be enough. You get a bit of a choice. Do you want to pick up all the gameplay ones? Do you want to go full economy bonus? But I don't think more than 8 is... No, I wouldn't. I would hope not. Uh-oh. Is that Baltimore radaring me? Can he actually shoot me, though? I don't think so. Other people can, for sure. Oh, and so it was a shot. Oh, well, he got sunk. Will there be Norwegian ships? Maybe, who knows, as part of our new pan-European nation. They're not, like, super high on the list for soon. I don't know if Norway... I don't know. I'm not like... I like the game a lot, and warships and stuff, but I'm not enough of a ship nerd to know... you know, like all the different ships of all the different nations, what they had in World War II. Those kind of conversations are best had with Tucky, who really does know all of that. Please. Oh god, no. I should have... Oh, I thought I could make it. I dubbed so hard. Oh god damn it. I thought I could make it by speeding, and then I didn't. Shit happened. Shit. You know, I think that one of those guys is gonna be accelerating at some point. Wait a little bit. One more back there for good measure. I'm definitely going to head around and just pepper them with some love. But yeah, that Shimmer Torp was really unnecessary. If I turned it immediately, there's no way I would have taken that. Let me show you. He's not going for it. He knows that there's only death waiting here. At least I get a lot of bonus from my adrenaline rush for having this much damage done to me. Not that that really compensates for it, and the wasted torpedoes are a bit sad, but yeah, well. I'm really not impressed by your island. At all.
Engine boost deactivated.
Come on, can we get him? There's the fire. 130 hits in a row, guys. Ah! You don't run for Harugumo. Goodbye. Will there be another event mode like Halloween which allows us to play surface ships against subs to test if that's fun away? As well, to be determined. I doubt that we'll have a special mode for that. I think this is something that's better tested, you know, like in a setting like a super test server or like a special test public test server, like we're surely going to do for CVs. Because you can test whether or not the overall principle is fun, but I think if we're that far, it's probably best to actually check if it works with actual ships and actual players. But again, this is all so far ahead in the future that really is just speculation on my part, more than any concrete information on that. Any changes to radar in the work? So our head of development talked about this yesterday during the anniversary stream. We are working on radar, and we have two different internal concepts going around on how we can tackle it and what we think we can change. But which of those two concepts are actually going to make it to implementation, or if one of them will, it's not clear yet. We're going to share information when we have you know enough to share when we're ready for that. But expect it to take a while longer. That was a bit of an unnecessary launch there, but okay. I don't think I would have had a better target right now anyway. He's gonna move away. Okay, well. No, he's not even gonna get to do that. The shimmer is still somewhere. Oh, Xian Yang, I think you screwed yourself by sitting in the smoke. Yep, and goodbye. I can't really afford to have a gun battle with that shimmer right now, otherwise the Montana's just gonna blap me. So we won't do that. Instead, we're gonna sneak through the middle here and see if we can't top the Amato, because that was always fun. No, I have no way of the range for that. I guess my torpedo reload could have been quite useful now. Ah well. Of course, the Harugumo is not the most easily turned ship. It hasn't got the best concealment. It's got decent torps, but pretty much gonna. Oh god damn it! Okay, well we've committed.
Smoke generator started.
I just hope somebody can spot it with me. Oh no, who's radaring me? Yeah, no way. Ah, you young bastard. Oh well. Serves me right. And of course he sensed the torpedoes, so they went wide. Ah well. I really hope I muted myself before you had to hear that, guys. I think I got a little bit sick yesterday. I sat in this room for, I think, going on 12 hours for the anniversary stream with all the preparation and everything. And in between, Chrysantos was popping out, and I said, Chrysantos, it's a bit cold in here. Can you turn up the aircon a bit? And I don't know what he did, but he turned it down to 19 degrees. So at the end of the day, I was sitting here shivering with ice cold hands, and I think I've got a cold now. C'est la vie. Yeah, not a great game, but you know, shit happens. I think this is probably going to be my last game now, because I have like a lot of other work to get to that I haven't been able to do for the last few days because I've been focusing on all the streams. So I'll go through a couple more questions and then we'll see what we can do. Have I played all of them? What would I not have played? I probably didn't play the Minotaur yet because I am absolutely terrible at the Minotaur. Radar or smoke? Oh, I should take smoke, I think. Yes. Okay, we'll try that. Let's see who's ready to play. Invite. And Levy West. No, you are offline, sir. I cannot invite you. Fantastic. And Painzor. Great name there. Okay. Did we get another super container? We must have. Yes, we did indeed. Come on, RNGesus. I believe. Wow. Who was saying about streamer bias earlier? Ooh, anniversary container. I'm not going to say no to those. Always nice to get a couple of extra signals and stuff. Let's take another load of coal. I've always, like, since... Chat, tell me, is it the same for you? Since the implementation of coal, I've basically only picked coal. I would like to have Salem eventually, but I've so far used it mostly to buy, you know, radar modifications and stuff, so I haven't really been able to save much up yet. Mr. Conway, if I may ask, where are you from? I am from Germany, from a small and boring town called Hildesheim in the northwest of Germany. It's really like, it's, yeah, in Germany we say it's where Fuchs and Hase go to say, wo Fuchs und Hase sich gute Nacht sagen, where the fox and the rabbit go to say goodbye to each other. It's really not exciting. So a question there: when you will bring a new free XP ship? When will you change the ship lineup that you can buy with coal? So we've got a couple of ships in the pipeline that might end up in the arsenal for free XP, or in this game for free XP. But I can't tell you yet which one and when and how. But there is stuff coming. Are you concerned with the loss of players should you introduce subs into random battles? Absolutely not. Why would we lose players by introducing a new class? You like, if it's not fun and balanced, we're not going to implement it. We're going to make it fun and balanced, and then we'll implement it, or we won't implement it at all. I think the opposite will give us new players. And if you look at the gameplay, sort of ideas behind it, the philosophy we want to do, I think it's quite interesting. You have something that's really, really squishy and has to really plan a lot and be very, very careful with its resources, with its air, to make sure it, you know, like it doesn't surface in between enemies, but can do devastating sneak attacks if it happens. I think the concept is really good and would work well in World of Warships battles without too much adjustment. But it's something that is going to be extensively tested and figured out. You know, we're going to have to add anti-submarine weapons to destroyers and all that kind of thing, all those kind of things. So give it some time to see, but I'm not concerned at all with lost players. Will the USS Arkansas be available again? I don't know. I'm not sure. Sorry. HMS Missouri says, this morning, Chrysanthos citadeled me two times. Is it possible to fire him? It is possible. However, you have to speak to Lord of Droid. And if you got citadeled, then you must have showed him broadside. And honestly, don't choke Chrysanthos broadside. He doesn't deserve the free damage. And he will absolutely take it if it's offered. So just be very aware that when you meet Chrysanthos in battle, that he is... one of the best players in Europe. He's a very much a super unicum, and he knows what he's doing, and he will punish you for any mistake you make. Just don't give him an opening, and you'll be fine. But if you do, you're gonna suffer for it. It's gonna hurt, and it should hurt, right? Don't get caught broadside. That's just silly. I kind of want to go ham into the middle, but I kind of also don't want to go ham into the middle. I have no radar, so I don't know. Yeah, going in B is often a bit suicidal. I can see if the enemy makes mistakes and lets himself get spotted, maybe we can have some fun, but otherwise. Yep. I don't know if there are any. I think we actually managed to answer pretty much all the questions, except a couple of the specific ones for future PvP subs, but as Sub-Octavian said, it's not something we're really actively working on yet. We're maybe thinking about it a little bit, but from that to an actual prototype and playable state is a long way. Okay, so we're not going to get B. I don't really... Ooh, Salem, hello. He's angled and he's... No, he's also reversing. I'm going to go see if I can hunt something else. So I'm going to go head up to C and see if I can find something there. Never believe a Wargaming promise. Well, no. Like, I think that's not fair. I think that you just have to... vinyl scratch blaze. You, sir, are dead. No, not dead. Just damaged. You have to sort of make a differentiation between like a promise like, oh, we're never going to out submarines. It's not as though, oh god, did I? No, come on, slow down. Okay, we got this. Between you know, like promising we're not going to do something bad, or just saying, oh, we're not going to have submarines. And because for the longest time we really weren't planning to have submarines, and then eventually we thought like, hey, maybe we could figure out a way to do this. And then when we started doing Halloween modes, we realized this is a really good place to play around with new mechanics and try out things. But we didn't want to like give away that, hey, we're working on submarines now, so we're not going to change the line. So I think it's not fair to say that. You're not going to suffer from the introduction of submarines. You'll benefit, if anything. Just my opinion. Helmi says introduction of subs is a great move since they were such a big part of naval warfare in both world wars. So yes, I agree with that to some extent, but also no, right? Because yes, submarines were an important part of naval warfare. However, they were not really like a part of surface naval warfare, if you know what I mean. So they didn't usually go around and engage other warships. They were very slow to start with, right? Even when not submerged, they were always very, very slow. Obviously, very easy to damage with limited supplies. So in like actual surface engagements, they rarely took part. What they did well is things like ambushes, you know, like unsuspecting carriers. The Japanese, for instance, found that out in a very, very quick and painful way when the... God damn it, I don't know what I'm doing here. This is really dangerous what I'm doing. When two of their big carriers got actually hit by submarines. I think it was when the Marianas Turkey shoot happened. Battle of the... See, I can't even remember the name of the battle right now. I'm not the historical guy, but so we're not going to aim for the gameplay where they just sort of barge in and kill things. They're going to have to be very, very stealthy and sneaky, and then once they get found, they're probably not going to survive for very long at all. So this is something to bear in mind, right? We have a very specific sort of imagination of how this gameplay could look, and I think that would be quite interesting in World of Warships because it's something new. But yeah, it remains to be seen what's going to happen. I hope I could explain this decently. I don't know if I did the idea justice, but it's early days yet. Yeah, PvP subs are not in active development. That's correct. We're not like there's nobody in St. Petersburg currently working on PvP subs. We're working on the PvE subs to make sure the event is going to be fun and everybody's going to have a good time. But PvP subs are a ways off yet. So I actually fired my first shot in the game. Exciting stuff. Well, they were pretty great shots. But I'm taking the cap. I'm happy about that. That's really what I set out to do here.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
Come on, really? We can't even shoot above. But I'm not a Worcester, I guess. Too used to being able to just ignore islands. God damn it. Oh, this Salem is begging for some punishment, but I don't know how to do it right now. Anyway, mission accomplished. Cap secured. Let's get the hell out of here. Yeah, someone's saying PvE subs best idea, PvP subs worst idea. Look, we don't know yet. We haven't tried it yet. Let's figure out if PvE subs are fun. And if PvE subs are fun, let's see if PvP subs are fun. We're not saying, hey, like, come what way, we're going to introduce subs into the game as a PvP class. But we're definitely going to entertain the idea and give it a go. Why am I doing this? I am stupid. I'm still being, I don't know how to get out of the situation. Kagero, smoke? Please? I have to juke the Yamato shells that are coming now. Come on. Come on, Yamato, shoot. God damn it, he's waiting. Oh, there they come. Uh-oh, Sailor stuck up. I'm dead. See, and this is what I said, meant when I said I really suck at the Minotaur. I just can't play it. Terrible Minotaur player. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for me for today. Pretty decent for like a midday stream, like the one we did, right? There was something I still wanted to do. I just don't know if we can realistically do it right now. A couple of our community contributors did an awesome thing and actually sent us like some little birthday messages that we wanted to play originally during yesterday's stream. Unfortunately, you know, as it is sometimes, we were a little bit late with things, and was struggling getting everything tested and ready and working. So we didn't really get to the part where we played those birthday greetings. So I don't know if we can play a couple of them quickly here as a nice sort of end to the stream, and then yeah, afterwards that's pretty much it for me for today, and we'll be done. I hope you found it interesting. I was very much looking forward to making this announcement. And yeah, it's been fun. I hope you enjoy Halloween subs. They look cool, and we will of course be sending them to public test at some point soon, so you can go break them, give us feedback, and let us know what works, what doesn't work, and what we need to do better. Yeah, but until then, I'm going to say goodbye. Leave you with a couple of greetings for our community contributors, and yeah, I'll catch you next time. Maybe for next week's weekly stream. This week I'm all streamed out. I'm not going to do it on Thursday. But probably next Thursday, 6 p.m. CST, as usual. Yeah. And until then, let me leave you with a couple of our community contributors. Bye-bye.
Howdy folks. World of Warships 3 years old today. My, how time flies. They grow up so fast, don't they, Boo? Yes. Boo doesn't actually care, because it's belly rub time. Oh, and we appear to have a little kitty cat gate crashing the party as well. What can I say? I'm a diva. Animals love me. Anyway, happy birthday, World of Warships. 3 years old, many more to come. And as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.
Hello from the USS Staying Alive. I'm Captain Jive Turkey, and this is the Admiral here. We wanted to say happy birthday to Wargaming for 3 years of World of Warships. Great job, guys. We love the game. Lots of fun. We look forward to many more years of content. And we want to say a special hello to all my friends out there on the Austin, Texas Wargaming offices. You guys rock.
Hello, fellow captains. Here is UCAT reporting. It is the 3rd birthday of our beloved game. Happy birthday, World of Warships! For 3 years, we together have fought through millions of battles with different ships on different maps, and there is still new exciting challenges awaits in the future. And it is the hard work of every warship lovers that have brought our naval battle dreams into this game. Big thanks to you all. As always, hope to see you soon on the high seas. Action stay.
Happy birthday to World of Warships from Nozoop for you in a random hotel on a battle assembly weekend. Cheers to 3 years, and may you have many more.